Okay, so look at some Chinese LED lights. These ones here I've had mixed issues with. The main thing is that there seems to be two iterations of these, one that come with a really tiny transistor and the other with one that's significantly larger. Now, whatever this one is, it seems to be lasting a lot longer. I'm not entirely sure how to decode these, but it looks like it's an NPN type transistor. Obviously, the bigger one is going to be rated for a lot more current, and the smaller one, not so much. So if anybody knows how to decode these, let me know. I haven't got around to it yet. What I might try and do is see if I can get these cheap enough and just change all of these out, because the bulbs are still perfectly good. I haven't had any failures on the diodes themselves, and part of the reason I suspect that to be is because of the massive size of this casing here, which acts as a heat sink. So this entire thing comes apart, and you can see that the LED board is gobbed on there with some thermal compound, and then pretty much all of the heat is allowed to dissipate from this thing really well. The only kind of problem is that this just sits in there, and it getting hot is probably not a great thing. What I did notice is there's no electrolytic smoothing capacitor on these, and those tend to be a very weak points for LED fixtures because they come in contact with the heat and inevitably blow up. Perhaps the most dangerous part of this design is the way this is installed in here. It's just kind of wrapped with packing tape. This isn't even capped on, or electrical tape for that matter, and then they just let it float inside of there. So I would really take this apart and examine it thoroughly and insulate this a lot better, because all it takes is for one of these line connections to come in contact with this metallic casing here, and obviously that's not going to be good. I've seen some fixtures where the part that the lamp itself clips into, the holder, not the fixture itself, but the holder, can actually be a separate piece from the fixture itself. And what that would mean is if the whole thing isn't electrically connected and it becomes energized and you touch any part of it, you're going to get a nasty shock. That's why it's critical that everything be properly grounded, so that in the event of a fault, it's going to set the breaker immediately. So that being said, watch out for these and be careful.